In the 16th century, when the world was divided by skin and power, a small black African village lay near a vast river that shimmered like molten gold under the sun. The people of the village lived simply, farming the land, telling stories by firelight, and raising their children with songs and hope. Their lives were humble, but their hearts were free, until the arrival of white colonizers changed everything. The white men came on horseback, carrying weapons that shone brighter than fear itself. They claimed the land in the name of distant kings and spoke in harsh tongues the villagers could not understand. Homes were burned, drums were silenced, and the village elders were forced to bow their heads. From that day on, the black African people were no longer seen as human, but as tools to be used. Children who once ran barefoot through tall grass were now dragged into forced labor. Small hands that should have been holding toys and flowers were made to carry heavy loads under the burning sun. Their cries echoed across the fields, but no mercy came. White overseers stood watching, their eyes cold, their whips ready, turning suffering into daily routine. A young boy named Kofi worked from dawn until nightfall. His back ached, his stomach burned with hunger, and tears rolled silently down his cheeks. He remembered his mother's lullabies, but now those songs lived only in his heart. His sister Amma worked nearby, her eyes hollow, her childhood stolen before it could bloom. The white masters believed fear was the strongest chain. They punished those who slowed, even children, to remind everyone of their power. The earth drank the sweat and tears of black Africans, while the colonizers grew rich from stolen labor. Nights were filled with quiet sobs instead of laughter. Yet, even in darkness, resistance lived. Mothers whispered stories of freedom to their children. Fathers taught them to remember who they were, even when treated as less than human. The children learned to survive, carrying pain in their bodies and hope in their souls. As years passed, some children grew into adults still bound by chains, but the memory of injustice never faded. Their suffering became a silent testimony carried through generations. The tears of those children would one day shape the cry for freedom that the world could no longer ignore. This is the story of black African children in the 16th century, of stolen innocence, forced labor, and unbroken spirit. Though oppressed by white rulers, their humanity survived, waiting for a future where chains would finally fall.